So since the harpoons, the harpoon idea was so awesome, you know, we started to game where, you know, in the post infrastructure, where we would have pirates, like say a pirate, like I was saying, a pirate would come with harpoons and, you know, satellite destructive device, like satellite chafe or flak, you know, and so the pirate would come, he'd annihilate like all the satellites on a path, and then you know, and so like part of our idea was, well, how do we defend against it, you know? So we started developing ways like to defend our satellites, you know, to armor them up, you know, to defend them from the chafe and all these other things. So so like all the satellites in the orbital path get annihilated, but then like one or two are left. But that pirate just comes along and he uses harpoon and he picks it. And now he picks it up and he's going to take it. Picks it up and he's going to take it, you know. And so so the pirate scenario was crazy, and then we went into all right, because it's internationally available. The mission objectives are internationally available. Then all these such and such nations have their own vessels, you know, and so we're like, okay, well, like ISRO has got a 200-man turbine, you know, and then so much fuel, blah blah blah, and then this, you know, like JAXA has a 25-man turbine, but a lot of ships, you know, and then like the U.S. has like a 100-man turbine and like a couple of dreadnoughts, you know, whatever, you know, and so then we were like kind of gaming that, and we looked at the Earth, and we were like, after all these nations had these different vehicles, and they had their javelins, and they had their catapults, and they had their weaponry, did they become a danger to the Earth? You know? And the only thing that we could think of was the Stone Rain concept, where one would go and pick up, you know, a 300-ton boulder, right, from the moon, and it would carry it on its vessel and then go and drop it onto the planet. And we saw that the planet had its atmosphere, that everything that they would try to drop would be, you know, burned up in the atmosphere, except for above certain masses. So that's why we decided to add mass restrictions to Space Treaty. And so after we did that, and we looked at the Earth, and we said, no, it's not in danger. And then so we agreed that we could do that. We could do all that stuff, you know. And so then our satellites all became sitting ducks, you know, and these things had the most advanced technologies that we had, the most sensitive information that all these different nations had, and suddenly they were all sitting ducks to anybody that just had a harpoon, you know, and a cheap vessel. So somebody would, you know, and so then we started back from scratch on that, and we decided like that our ASAT would start to do that. So we retrofitted the X-47B with harpooning satellite capturing mechanisms so that we could steal all of the other nation's secrets and bring it back down right now in the rapid advanced deployment strategy. But you know, so yeah, the mass restrictions for the Earth was the most important thing. And then of course we had one guy that was like, you know, we had some ships that were patrolling, like a couple of Coast Guard vessels that would patrol the orbit of the Earth to make sure that nothing was violating the space treaties regarding the protection of the home world. And these patrol vessels also were able to intercept intercontinental ballistic missiles. As they entered into space, they would respond, harpoon them, and then throw them in the garbage can. So it became the end of the age of intercontinental ballistic missiles.